What do you make of what Erik Ten Hag had to say, Jamie?
Well, look, he's, fair play to him. He's a manager of a football club and he's going to try and pick out the positives of the season so far. He says 4 clean sheets, which they've had, right? They're against Fulham, Palace, who can't score, who can't hit barn door at the minute, and Barnsley. All right, today, Aston Villa, you get a draw away from home, and they didn't quite make it happen. But it's been the worst start to a Premier League season ever for Manchester United. And he's sitting there trying to say, well, we can take positives from it. There's no positives to take from Man United's season so far. They've got 8 points. I mean, they are miles off it. They played against the Villa side today, who, in my opinion, had a lull from a Champions League night.
They looked knackered, didn't they?
They looked knackered. They had a massive game against Bayern Munich, put everything into it. The fans and everyone were behind it, and you see it so many times. You play at the weekend, and you have a dip in form, you have a dip in performance, and that's what I saw today. And we were hoping or thinking that Unai Emery wouldn't allow that to happen, but it does happen. You see it so many times. You see it every season after Champions League nights. And Manchester United, they dug out a result and they got a draw. But we are talking about Manchester United here, one of the biggest teams, if not the biggest team in the world. And they picked up 8 points from the start of the season, and we're sitting here not talking about how, Erik Ten Hag should be in a job. Like, it's not been good enough. They're nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near it. Chelsea manager comes in, brings in new signings, new players, new manager, and bang, they get off flying. We're 2 years down the line with Erik Ten Hag, and he's still talking about a process and still talking about what they need to do and where they want to go. Well, I've not seen nothing in 2 years. Nothing in terms of them being a better club and moving forward. So we'll see. He's probably going to stay in a job. He said that he's got the backing of the board. I guarantee you, we get to the next international break, we'll sit here and we'll say that we'll have the same conversation.
We'll book your taxi now. Will the United hierarchy looking at clubs like Chelsea have appointed Enzo Maresca, and it's going very nicely, thank you, albeit they didn't win against a good Forest side today. And will they be thinking we could be doing better than Erik Ten Hag?
I think, yeah. I think eventually, the board will have to look at it and say, can we do better than what we've got right now? Who's that manager? Who's that guy to maybe take us in a different direction? Where do we want the club to go? You've seen Sir Jim Ratcliffe come in, but they are, 14th in the table? Come on, it's not good enough. We're talking about Man United here, and you're talking about start of a season where, he was already under pressure. And, fair play to him, he won the FA Cup against the Man City side who didn't turn up on the day. But we were already having these conversations about, Erik Ten Hag. And we thought, benefit of the doubt, he's won the FA Cup, give him next season, let's see what happens. They're going to back him. But no one was convinced that we were going to see a different Man United. And it's exactly what we've seen. They got 8 points at the start of the 9 points last season. Now they've got 8 points. So they've got worse. All right? They have not improved. And you judge a manager, they're not a cup team. It's Manchester United. They need to get back to challenging for the title. And they are a million miles away from that. Over a 38-game season, that's how you judge your team.
Final thoughts. First of all, on Manchester United, we're going to see Ten Hag after the international break, do you think?
Look, I don't think... If there was a manager out there that was ready to come in, you've gotten this all right, I'd make a change. It's the worst start to a Premier League season they've ever had. And he sits there and talks about we've had 4 clean sheets. We've also conceded 3 against Porto, 3 against Tottenham, 3 against Liverpool. You haven't been good enough. They're not good enough. Man United, to get to the level where they need to be, for me, is not going to be under Ten Hag. They can have another 5 games, and I guarantee you we'll be sat here in a month's time having the same conversation. But it's just whether they want to make that decision now. They've got a point today, a decent point away from home. I just don't see how this is going to carry on going forward with Ten Hag. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. The fortune's changing. If you said to me in 6 weeks' time that I'm going to see a Manchester United side playing really, really good football, confident, they all look like they want to be out there. Erik Ten Hag on the side of the pitch with a bit of passion, and then I'd say you're dreaming, because it ain't going to happen. We're going to see the same Man United performances that I've been seeing for the last 2 seasons.
Just a quick one on what he said about Rashford. He said one of the reasons he took Marcus Rashford off was he thought he might get a red card.
Yeah, look, Rashford doesn't look like he's enjoying his football, and he's a dangerous player for Man United. Had a couple of chances today, cuts inside, gets his shot away. And I really like Rashford. I do. I think he's got so much potential to be, you know, a top player, but his body language just doesn't seem to be right at Man United. I feel like he's always waiting to get taken off, and he gets frustrated. And look, you know, he could have gone today, so the manager has to make that decision for the team.